Hello, it's Ronnie Yoga Devi coming to you from my home in Leamington. And today I had one of those Mercury Retrograde kind of days. We are in Mercury Retrograde, and normally it doesn't affect me very much, but today it was funny. Like, I just have to laugh at the humorous nature of everything that transpired today. Initially, I was supposed to go to a Toastmasters meeting tonight that was happening at about, I think it was either 5:30 or 6:30. I can't remember. I think it was 5:30 that it started. But I was in a meeting online that went until about 4, and I needed to go and buy some groceries and then get back. So there was no way I was going to be able to walk all the way downtown to the library where they hold that meeting. So I scrapped that idea, sent a little email saying, sorry, I won't be able to make it this week. And, I'll see them in another 2 weeks because we meet every 2 weeks. And then my mom drove me over to the grocery store and to help me save some time and get everything back and be able to buy more rather than going over and carrying things back manually several times. So mom dropped me over there, and I went in, got all my stuff, and before I went into the grocery store, mom said, give me a call when you're done. I said, okay, cool. So go in, got my stuff, standing outside, and called mom. And I figured maybe she wasn't going to call me back and was just going to come straight on back. And so I kept waiting. I'm sounding froggy. So in the meantime, taxis are pulling up from different companies. There's my little town, there's about 5 taxi companies, and I think 3 of the 5 were kind of circling around the front of the grocery store, because there are a lot of people who do need taxis home from the grocery store. And I just live across the street, through the parking lot, and then across the street. But for me to do that, I have to go across the parking lot and then jog about a block southbound across the street, and then go back northbound. And then it's very, very close to where I live down that street. So I contemplated, because I had waited so long for my mom to come back, just walking home. And then I started to think, geez, this is a drag. And somebody started yelling at me, Amiga, 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 from one of the taxis. And I'm not going to tell you which company it was, but somebody thought I was a Spanish-speaking person, probably Mexican, from northern Mexico, because, I don't know, maybe I could be Mexican. I was standing amongst a lot of people who were migrant workers, but none of whom were Mexican. There was one from South America, but he was quite far away, and he wasn't visible to where the drivers were pulling in. Who was visible were 2 black guys, and one I know for sure was from Kenya, and the other one I thought was Jamaican, but I was not really sure about where he was from because I didn't have much of a conversation with him. At the end of the day, I got a ride home from one of the guys had been waiting with me, because I was saying, geez, I don't know what's happening with my mom, blah, blah, blah. And I was not comfortable getting into that taxi, and I wasn't going far enough to pay the minimum fee on a taxi, because I think the minimum fee on a taxi is something like $7 or something. And for me to go across the street for $7 doesn't make any sense at all. If I was going across town, no problem to pay $7, but it just didn't seem worth it to me. And I was about to take the cart and just walk it home and then empty it out and come back and bring the cart back, which I have had to do occasionally when my parents are busy or when I don't want to disturb them if I've got a lot of groceries to buy and I don't want to carry them all home. So it was kind of funny. So I got a ride back home from someone, and my neighbors were like, "Oh, you don't take risks. You don't let anybody give you a ride home." And they're like, "Geez, I had a spinal disease, and it's just as big of a risk for me to actually take that cart and bring it home as it is for me to accept a ride from somebody." And at some point in time, you got to trust people. But boy, oh boy, what a whole lot of miscommunication in the day. Miscommunication with my mom because she thought that when she told me to call her, that I would call her at home. And I thought that she meant to call her on her cell phone because she said, "Call me, don't text." And so I figured she meant on the cell phone. So anyhow, it's just like miscommunication day. Crazy. So I survived, and I can still laugh about it. And really, at the end of the day, things don't always go our way. The key is, I don't want to say roll with the punches, but go with the flow. That's better than roll with the punches. Anyhow, that's all for today. Ronnie Yoga Devi signing off. Hope that you don't have any really bad miscommunication days through Mercury Retrograde like I do. Better to have like a thing here, a thing here, a thing here, and have them spread out over a week or two. Take care. Bye-bye for now.